I just want to quickly take you through what's been going on this morning. GFS and the E7WF models are operational models are looking out for that R6 feed coming in. They're sort of taking the air of low pressure eastwards, and what they're doing is introducing this northerly feed from many parts of the country, bringing in wintry showers in this sort of area here, but also process coming in here for Boxing Day, so the 26th. Right. So let's just get rid of that rubbish there for you. And yeah, so the GFS model and the ECMWF model, right, the European one, are looking out for this sort of setup here. So you have to take it into consideration when if only one's looking at it, say if only the GFS is looking at it, then you can't have it in too much confidence. But when both these models are looking out for this sort of pattern, well then you have to start taking it more seriously. Now I said that to say there's 70% chance of it being mild on Christmas Day, and 30% chance of it being cool. I'm going to have to bring that 30 up to 40% of it being cool for Christmas Day, and I bring that 70 right down to 60. I do think Christmas Day itself is going to start off quite a mild day. Temps probably just about 2 or 3 degrees Celsius, so many places are avoiding a frost to start off the daytime, but some sheltered parts of northern England could see a frost, so places that could see a frost on Christmas Day, probably around this region here, inland areas through northern England, central England. So I don't think the far south will see frost. Possibly the southeast and Northern Ireland could see a frost too. And then top temps on Christmas Day. Well, it will be starting to feel cooler on Christmas Day with a cold front sinking southwards on Christmas Day itself. So it will be cooler on Christmas Day. But as I say, I'm just doing this for fun, really, not doing it seriously. So top temps on Christmas Day probably around 3 degrees in the north, probably around 6 degrees in the south. So generally near to average, but maybe possibly a degree or so below average. And then the fun and games really do start as we go through into the next period. I'm not too sure what's going to happen, to be honest with you, but we could see this sort of very cool period coming on with this northerly feed. So a very cool period for many if this does happen from GFS and the ECMWF. Now they are in, we could say they are in fantasy land. Just put that on for there. We could say that they are in fantasy land. That's probably a possibility of what they are in. It's just when the models don't know what they're doing. For around 192 hours through. Do the 384 for the GFS, and all the way up to 240 for the Eastern WF, from around 160. So they're the fantasy land periods. So we can't take these into too much consideration, but we have to just say, well, this could happen. And what happens is when models, when you go run through further on into a model, as time goes on in a model, it does become less accurate. So less accurate, they are more accurate. From the start to the finish, they become less accurate, more accurate. But also they take less factors in. They don't take in spoilers which can spoil this northerly feed and otherwise bring us a westerly instead. So there are lots of things you have to take into consideration. And the other thing to take into consideration is all the jet stream. It is quite in a wobbly phase at the moment. Yeah, the jet stream is quite wobbly across the United Kingdom there and Ireland. So yeah, we are facing in the jet stream at the moment. We are quite wobbly. We have seen wobbles in the jet right through the wobbles in the jet right wobbles in the jet right through the summer. Remember the summer we had the jet stream right down here into northern France. So yeah, we have had a bit of a weird jet stream in the last few years, and it's picking out what's bringing jet stream. I don't know actually. No one knows really. It's very hard to say, and there's so many stuff involved. So it's very difficult to put your finger on that one. I'm not sure I can give you the answers on that one. Yes, the jet stream is very changeable, and the NAO is also dipping. It's something like it has had a dip in the last few days. It was dipping there. Remember that cold spirit period. Well, I think it is starting to come up now to neutral figures. I'm probably going to stay there for a few days, but then dip down into negative, something like this, through into New Year. So this is Christmas. This is the New Year here, and this is around Christmas Day here. So we are going to be dipping through into negative on the NAO. That's my NAO forecast for the period. And the NAO is calculated by the GFS ensemble there. Well, I think it is anyway. I'm not too sure. It is predicted by the GFS model ensemble. And yeah, so it's very going to be a very weird period around Christmas days. What the Canadian model actually was bringing in this very cold easterly, bringing in the isobars were looking something like this for many parts. Yeah, the isobars were looking something like that for many parts, which would bring in a blizzard. Isobars from the east would bring in this blizzard conditions. The temps probably not getting above freezing and heavy snowfall. It's pretty weird because a few days ago I had this image in my head. It was Christmas Day and there was low pressure out to the northeast, and we had this northwesterly flow, and it was bringing in some wintry flurries and wintry showers in this sort of region. And what this is just a vision that I had a few days ago, and it was funny. I was looking outside my window, and there's actually a light snow flurry in that vision. So yeah, we could see some snow flurries on Christmas Day. They're probably only going to be on the highest ground northern, but remember what I said, temperatures are going to be around average, so that means snow showers are restricted to the highest ground. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff actually going on at the moment. I just want to talk you through, we could see some very heavy rain through Wednesday and Thursday today. It's going to be in this sort of region, some very heavy rain could come through. I just want to give you a warning on that one there. And also, I think through the weekend we could see another period of heavy rain coming into this sort of region again. With the southwesterly flow here, we have to watch out on the isobars. If any of them bump around the isobars, well, that could bring in heavy rain on the isobars there. So you do have to pick out these bumps in the isobar on the models, and you have to say, well, we're going to see some heavy rain. And obviously, with the river levels being so high, we can't rule out that risk of surf water flooding, and those river levels becoming ever so larger and spilling out and affecting homes and places. So you have to watch out actually for flooding taking place in the next few days. Obviously, the river levels are so saturated. But also in northern Scotland as well, there'll be quite a lot of snowmelt on the high ground here, so we could see some problems in terms of flooding. So lots to watch out for. Just want to leave you on the mild focus really, because it is going to be turning much milder through this week. Next week we could see 12 degrees C in the southeast. Somewhere in this sort of region here could see a 13 or 14 degrees C, but I do think in northern and northeast areas of Scotland as well we could see a 12 here. And I think for many western areas I think we're more likely to stick at 11. So yeah, thanks for that then, and see you later. Goodbye. Just want to leave you there. I don't have the answers. I'm not too sure on what's going to happen, but just trying to interpret it the best that I can way. But I don't have the answers for you. Not many people do. So yeah, thanks for I don't know why I wrote 12 there. I think I was just thinking something else. Just want to leave you on something else then. Just want to leave you on the weather channel. You can go to Castamoys, my weather channel, for fun. It's just a fun site. This is nothing serious. It's just to get me a bit more experience in weather before I hopefully go on to do a course in weather later and do an actual degree meteorology in later life. And I'm only 14 at the moment. So yeah, just want to leave you with that there. You can go to youtube.co.uk and type in Castamoys in my weather channel. Plenty for fun there. You can go to the comments page as well and just leave a comment on there. Get me on Twitter and Facebook and all. But yeah, you can leave a comment there on Facebook, on YouTube, and you can browse through the uploads and have a look there, have a little look and see what's going on. Right, thanks for watching and see you later.